Hello, Americans. Another friend and subscribers around the world. Bye, man. This morning, sun's not, well, I guess it is coming up, peeking up now. This morning, I'm getting the shed kind of cleared out for doing a solar, and all my fish fence stuff. I'll be needing that pretty soon. Just got the call yesterday. I'll be doing the fish fences again this year. What is this, man? I think about the 11th year, 10th to 12th year. I don't know, somewhere in there. Been doing a long time. But anyway, clearing this out, got to get some lights going. But we got a solar setup, the complete setup for solar power, and trying to figure out, I'm probably going to end up putting it on the, or putting it in the cook shack. Dude, this cotton. But right now, this thing stuff. Oh, my dog, man, he's got a cough ever since the cotton started. Kai's been coughing like crazy. Oh, man. Got this pond rubber. So anyway, trying to clear a spot to put a table so that we can put this solar stuff, get it all hooked up. And then I think temporarily I'm going to put the panels up on top of the woodshed and kind of get it, you know, set up and everything so that we can do a video on it. And then that way we'll see how long the cables and everything are and what we have to do to, you know, get it set up where we actually want it to be full time. Because it's a full solar setup, so I'm pretty excited about that. But this morning, yesterday I think, is when I went through and did these clips that I'm going to show you. You know, and that was just all the craziness and everybody. I don't even know how to explain it, man. Just everything is insane, man. And so then that, you know, that was yesterday, and I did these clips and all that, and then this morning, I don't know what got me on it, which I'm not going to show it right now. I may end up doing a video on it next or in a couple days. But it's the AI. The AI stuff is freaking me out, man. It's crazy. And, you know, then I get all these people freaking, you know, not tons of them, but a few people. Oh, everything's going to be all right. You're worrying too much. You stressing yourself out. And, you know, all of this, you know, which I appreciate that. But if the writing's on the wall, man, if you don't get prepared for what? I don't know, man. That's something. You know, definitely food shortages and stuff's coming. And then this is just the calm before the storm, man. I'm telling you, man, do whatever you can do. You know, put up water and put up food. And is that going to save you or help you? Hopefully for a little while anyway. I think we're all just, we're in trouble, man. So, here's some clips of, well, I think people are starting to lose it.
Did you know that Bill Gates recently said that if you don't have the digital ID by 2028, you will be isolated from society? That's... What? What? Isn't there a prophecy about that? Does that mean I can't buy and sell? If so, the time is close.
Genuinely, what are we supposed to eat? Every video I see is telling me something bad about what I'm eating. Literally everything in the grocery store. Chemicals, the water, the dishes we're using. Like, you can't even breathe anymore without getting cancer.
Wait, what did he just say? There's going to be people of means who are going to travel, and then there's going to be people maybe of lesser means who might actually be able to use an Oculus or a Magic Leap or some other kind of device to travel to the same place, but from their own couch. But in many ways, it's actually going to create even more distance between those two people. That psychologically, and I think that we've experienced this through social media. In many ways, it's brought people closer in certain ways, but actually created this remarkable divide because it's even more visible. Actually, the divide in certain ways. There's going to be people.
I really hope you guys are paying attention, because this is what rich people are literally planning the future for the rest of us. While we're all going to be stuck in apartments that we'll never be able to purchase, never be able to afford, wearing Oculus for our vacation time because we can't afford a real one because we got to go to work tomorrow because we have to work 7 days a week, 3 jobs just to pay that rent and that car payment and the gasoline to put in the car that you can't even afford in the first place, while the rich people are jet-setting all over the world, enjoying themselves and having a good time, living like kings, while the rest of us, slaves, live like slaves.
Trying to tell my husband this, but I have a sneaky suspicion that they're doing something to the plants, like the seeds that you buy from the store. First of all, back when I was younger, you could walk by your neighbor's house and pull a plum off the tree. You know what I'm saying? Or nectarine or some shit. We have a small garden, and every year that has gone by, it's gotten harder and harder to grow. Last year, our vegetables and our fruits were gone by June. And I don't have much hope this year. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, what the is really going on?
Why are all of our towns being taken over by luxury apartments, gated communities, and these small mini mansion communities, and then townhomes that are bought up by some large corporation and then sold as rentals that are also incredibly unaffordable and no one wants to pay for? Why did this all start happening right after COVID? It's destroying working class, blue collar towns across the United States. It's displacing working class, blue collar families and taking away their American dreams. Why is this all happening?
This might be a wild take, but I care less about the gun control laws coming down the pipe in Virginia than I do what's happening in our own skies. Because with gun control, I have to choose. I get the choice to comply or not. What they're spraying on me and my children every day, I have no choice in that. Our politicians need to be talking about this every single day. This is the most important topic on the table, and nobody's talking about it.
The fact that it just took me $65 to fill up my minivan is insane. Like, we need to normalize moms supporting moms, because this is asinine. The fact that it just took me $65 to fill up my minivan. Like, oh, why is everything so freaking expensive?
I saw a guy pop up on my FYP the other day, a young guy, and he was in an absolute rage because he couldn't make it make sense. He makes 3 times minimum wage. 3 times what the minimum wage is, and he can't afford to live. Read an article in an economic journal that said the national average income to live comfortably for a single person is $96,000. For a family of 4, the national average to live comfortably, just comfortably, is $240,000. And granted, that's an average. So in some places it's higher. How are we supposed to make it make sense?
Went to the grocery store for 3 things: eggs, milk, and bread. And my bill was almost $30. It's insane. It's insane. My mortgage is almost $3,000. My car payment is $680. My HELOC is $600. It cost me $80 to fill up my gas tank and $300 in groceries. And then we have medical bills that we have to catch up on. My electric bill is almost $400. My gas bill is almost $200. My internet is about $50. And we're supposed to survive how?
Before I start this rant, I just want to say this is my opinion, and it's not that I don't think any of this can change. But anybody my age or around my age is going to struggle the entirety of their lives unless they were blessed with money. And it's not a matter of working hard or trying harder or cutting things out that you can't afford, whatever. It really dwindles down to the fact that we do not get paid a subsequent amount of money to live in the society that we live in with the prices of everything the way that they are. I'm speaking from personal experience here. I'm an HVAC technician. It does not matter where I go, what job I get. I am not making enough money working 50, 60 hours a week to pay my rent, pay all of my bills, and put money away. It's not possible. I'm not even going to give you a breakdown of the money because it doesn't matter, because I feel like every single person that even people in trades like myself can vouch for this. It's just not enough. Percentage-wise, what we make is not the same as it was 50, 60 years ago in the golden era, or whatever they call it. During that time, you could go to work, bust your ass, work those 60-hour work weeks, have enough money to pay for you, your wife, and all of your children combined, and still put money away. I guess I'm saying, I don't know, I feel like even with another source of income and everything, it's a defeating feeling to look at the prospect of our futures. Our futures look bleak unless something changes drastically. Our futures do not look well. It looks like we are going to claw and connive the entirety of our lives. And that is not what we were sold and not what we were told that we could do with our lives. I understand that not every situation is the same, so you don't need to jump into the comments and go, I'm speaking for a whole. And for the whole, we don't make enough money. We don't make enough money to positively impact society the way that we could if we just made enough money.
Just an FYI, the birth rate is not declining because Gen Z's too feminist. The birth rate's declining because Gen Z is the brokest generation. When an entire generation is sitting there telling you, we cannot afford homes, we can't afford rent, we can't afford insurance, we can't afford gas, we can't afford groceries. Most of us can't even afford to stop living with our parents. What makes you think that those economic conditions make us want to go reproduce? So no, it's not the evil feminists that are telling your kids to not have kids. It is the economic state of this country that is preventing people from being able to have children.
I say this with so much love. You do realize that the decision on minimum wage was made nearly 2 decades ago. 20 years. Our last federal increase was in July of 2009 to a minimum wage federally of $7.25. That is 17 years without a federal increase. Yes, I realize that many states and cities have raised their minimum rates to maybe $15 an hour, but federally has not. The not so funny part is that several states still use that federal minimum. Utah, Texas and Wisconsin are 3 states that still use it. A livable wage is $18 to $25 per hour for a single person with no kids, depending on the location. And that's not thriving. That's to not be in constant crisis.
How in the world are people surviving? I have no idea. It literally cost me 2 hours of work just to fill my tank up today, and I am a nurse.
People can't afford to exist anymore, and the billionaire-controlled media is confused. That's why it's important to remember the working class in America has no political representation at all.
Companies, chemical companies, the government, they're all in cahoots to make sure and prevent us from being able to move into small communities. And I'm not talking homesteaders. I am not talking gardeners, hobby gardeners. I am talking like small communities that farm food on like 25 to 30 acres, so like a larger scale. Impossible. I'm from a farming community and I've done a lot of research on this. This is going to be a lot, but I need you to follow me. So when someone farms on a larger scale, and even a smaller scale, 25 to 35 acres is considered a smaller scale. But when someone farms on that scale, they purchase their seeds from a seed company, and these seeds come genetically modified and treated to be disease resistant. Now, with that genetic modification also comes into play that any seed produced by the fruit that you produce from that original seed, if you plant it, should not produce a fruit. Like, you'll have pretty leaves, but you won't have any actual edible food. But let's just say that, for example, you buy a watermelon from a farmer. That farmer has signed a waiver that states he will not attempt to replant any of those seeds that come from that seeded watermelon that grew from the original seed that he purchased from the seed company, and also says that he will not let you purchase seeds from him from the fruit that was produced from that original seed to then plant and possibly even grow edible fruit. These are legal binding documents, like punishable under penalty of law. Oh, the seeds are genetically modified to grow bigger, grow better, more robust, but they're also genetically modified to not produce fruit from like the mother plant. Even though these seeds are considered disease resistant, you're still going to deal with disease, powdery mildew. When it comes to sweet corn, you're going to have a worm infestation. So you're still going to need to purchase agricultural chemicals in order to spray to treat these crops. And that's sweet corn, that's field corn, that's anything. But in order to purchase that chemical, you're going to need a USDA license from the government. So you have to get this license from the government. They're going to know that you're growing food because you need this USDA license in order to purchase these chemicals to treat your genetically modified and disease-resistant seeds that aren't actually disease-resistant. Kelsey, you may say, aren't these chemicals bad for you? Yeah, they are. They are really, really bad, and they don't even tell you how bad. Now, 2 farmers here locally, one has already passed away, the other declining rapidly from something called PSP. They have linked this to farm chemicals, okay? It's awful. It's basically a deterioration of the physical body while the mind stays intact. You can't walk. You can't swallow. By the time the food from that seed and those chemicals sprayed on it makes its way to you, it's going to be watered down, but who knows what it's causing? Is it making you sick? I don't know. But do you know who one of the largest seed producers, one of the biggest seed companies is? Bayer. Yeah, that Bayer. Yeah. They do seeds, farming chemicals, pharmaceuticals. Are you following me? Keep following me. Now, Bayer is its own entity. It's owned by shareholders. Do you know the biggest shareholder in Bayer? BlackRock. BlackRock controls your seed. It controls the agricultural chemicals and your pharmaceuticals. Okay? You may say Bayer isn't the only seed company. There are others. Well, BlackRock is also a shareholder in those as well. The 4 largest, Corteva, Syngenta, BASF. Why are we seeing the cycle? Food, chemicals, pharmaceuticals, food, chemicals, pharmaceuticals. Because I hate to tell you this, but the machine that you are a part of, that we are a part of, I, me, you, us, couldn't possibly allow you to become self-sufficient in growing your own food. They stopped that a long time ago, okay? Because you're going to have to purchase your seeds from them. You're going to have to purchase your chemical from them. And then when you get sick, you're going to have to purchase your medication from them as well. Why would they allow us to go into smaller communities and take care of ourselves and depend on each other when we could just depend on them for everything? Basically what I'm saying is if anybody has a seed line from the 1850s, your grandpa's been saving tomato seeds, your great grandpa, he'd been saving them for you. should probably start working on that. But do with this information what you will. Like I said, it's just a conspiracy theory. They wouldn't do that, right?
Let me get this straight. I can go to the grocery store and buy bread in a plastic bag, sliced meat in a plastic container, bottles of ketchup, mustard, and mayo, all in plastic squeeze bottles, and plastic forks and knives. But when I go to checkout, I can't have a plastic bag because that's bad for the environment. Okay.
Oh, this dang world. Crazy, crazy times. You know, and the clips that I shared, stuff like that, is just putting the word out there. You know, I've said it before, you know, and I may not agree with all the, you know, the folks' opinions out there, but some of it, man, the stuff that I put out there is just because I think it should be out there to be seen and heard by everybody, man. That's why I share them. That, man, I won't even go into the AI right yet. Man, that scares the holy bejeebers out of me, and it should you too, man. It is. Man, what's coming? I don't think we've even, we haven't seen nothing yet. And as we get, you know, farther into this, it's coming fast, man. I think, you know, I think by the week, it's just you're just gonna start going, what the heck, you know, just nuts. And then it's crazy because everything going on, all that, you know, and in my county, you know, lots of tourists and stuff up through here. And man, I'll tell you what, yesterday the traffic, you know, before the big weekend and stuff, man, dude, everybody in there, you know, burning fuel like crazy. I don't care, man. I got there, you know, man, I could sit down there and we could count how much money's rolling by, man, as they go by with their, you know, their campers and fifth wheels and trailers and, you know, side-by-sides, and millions and millions of dollars rolling up and down that road just like nothing's going on. But all I can say, man, watch your top knot, watch your six, and make sure to put some water up and some food. I keep telling you, because it's coming. It's coming fast. Good Lord willing, them creeks don't rise. We'll be back again tomorrow. See ya.